ran into was I'd give access, and I think they have to respond within a week or something like that in order to get the access.
Mm-hmm.
And a number of people just didn't respond.
Yes.
Did you run into that too?
Not really. I think that you can change that option. I think that you can change that to be a week. You know, they can have like a year.
Okay.
So I think look into that. See about changing that option so they don't have to do it so quickly. Another thing was that I actually did a 2-hour class to show them how to do this. So I think that helped because all of them that came to that class felt more comfortable with it. And we got them signed up right then and there. So they, you know.
Maybe I can leverage your material for that.
Yes. Yeah, I have a handout that I can share with you. I can email that to you. And it has instructions that walks people through how to use it, you know, how to gain access to it. So that was what I used whenever I taught them how to do it.
And I think that may have been kind of the golden answer right there, is that once you set it up, spent time walking folks through it so they were comfortable with it.
Yes. I would say that's the biggest problem, is letting them feel comfortable with it and letting them feel like they can get in here and, like I said, click around without thinking that they're going to delete things. So that view access is really important.
Rachel, this is Julie Morgan in Shelby County. Could you make that document that explains how to use this available to all of us?
Yes, I can, for sure. I can email that out to the listserv that Natalie sent out, I guess.
Yeah, we could post it on the website if you want to. What I've been doing with some of the handouts from these sessions, along with the video link, is just posting them all together on the front page of the website.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I will send that to Natalie so she can post it.
I have a question, Rachel. So did you have some of your members who had to actually create a Gmail account? Maybe they had email through a different server and they had to create a Gmail so that they could use this Google Drive?
Yes, so you do have to have a Gmail. You can send them a link to view it without a Gmail, but they won't be able to actually use any of the, you know, kind of tricks and stuff like that in Gmail without it. So they can see it, but to be able to have the Google Drive, you do have to sign up for a Gmail.
Well, so they can sign up for a Google account without having a Gmail.
Yes.
Email.
Yes.
You can do that.
All right. That's
Rachel, this is Marcia from Knox County.
Okay.
A couple comments. We have a similar setup for our Speakers Bureau. And when we created it, I took some of the least technically savvy people and asked them how they might use it. And one of the first comments was, I know if they looked at your screen, they would say, that's too much stuff for me to sort through. So we created folders that were kind of veggie oriented, ornamental, and then kind of a general category.
Yes.
And even within that, say in ornamental, there would be a subfolder for roses or hydrangeas. And then within the subfolder, things were organized chronologically so that the newest presentations were listed first.
Yes.
But when I look at how busy your screen is that we're looking at, I know that 90% of our members would say, I'm not sorting through that to find something.
And we created subfolders also, administration, one for one of our events for the year. That's really easy to do.
Yes.
The other comment that I had was, please don't make me have another user ID and password. So we used the link, but the way you got the link was you went into our county website, the members' private side, and that's where you would find the link to get to the Google Drive.
Yes.
So they basically were using their same user ID and password and didn't need a second one.
Yes.
From my side, I'm the one who manages all of it. My biggest challenge, I have two challenges. One is getting presenters to give me the material. And the second is the folks who use Apple devices and send me those key files that are just humongous. And then I have to go back and say, please export that and send me a PDF. Do you have that problem?
So I did not have the problem of not having them give them to me. So like I said, as soon as I started my job, they were handing flash drives to me, like, here's all of my presentations from the last 17 years. So that has not been a problem here. I guess for the newer ones, you know, that make a presentation, I say, hey, can you send me that? And then they always do. So I don't see that as a problem here because they're happy to share it. I think it's just I guess a mind thing, you know, get them used to sharing those with you. The folders are a great idea, but what I found was that they liked being able to read the different titles here, and having more folders they said would be more confusing because they didn't want to have to drill down and find things. So I think, you know, whatever works for your county is great. Do that, you know. So if your county wants folders, add as many folders as you want to. But a lot of them said that they just wanted to be able to just kind of look down through here. So that's why we left it this way. I'm sure when we get more, we'll probably have to make folders at some point. So yeah, again, do whatever works for your county. And then I think just try to keep asking them for presentations and adding them as much as possible, or put, you know, 1 or 2 people in charge of that, so that, you know, as soon as somebody does a presentation, ask them for that information. And our Speakers Bureau coordinator, she's just now figuring out how to use this, but it's very helpful because whenever there's a presentation given, like I said, she's just not figuring this out. So this is not all they have done, but she has access to come in here. Her name is Linda Stevens. So she has access to come in here and change this. So she puts in, you know, all this information and who was there. So that's really helpful. And then other people can see that too. So it's in this folder. They can see what's going on. So if they come in here to find a presentation, then they're going to say, ooh, I need to make sure that I send her my presentation to add to this so that other people can have it. But also they want to make sure that their data gets updated on here. So I guess kind of just a double thing to make them remember the importance of sending in that information, who was there, and sending in their presentation.
Do you find very many people collaborate on presentations and like use revision control and all that?
Not really, no. I did show them that, but I think that they would rather just get together and work on a presentation in person together.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have a lot of people that give presentations like 2 speakers at the same one. All of our library classes have 2 speakers. I think another big thing is having like a template to start from. So we have a template for them to choose from, so that if they don't want to start from scratch and they already want to have logos on here, they can come and download this. So I think that's a good thing too, because if they want that, if they want their presentation to have our logos, they have to have a Gmail, they have to log on here and get this.
All right, thanks. That was a great introduction, and we had a lot of good conversation bouncing off of that. So as you guys know, Rachel is extension agent and master gardener coordinator in Rutherford County. So the way that she was using that Google was kind of from the UT side, because we have some institutional access to those kinds of aids. But also on the more nonprofit side, there are ways that without going through the UT Google tools, you can have access to those. And our group in Davidson County has done a lot of work with that whole aspect of using the tools from Google for nonprofits. And so to kind of keep on this same theme, but look at it from a slightly different perspective, I'm going to turn the virtual microphone over to Callie, who is a volunteer. And you can tell us a little bit about, you know, your background, if you want to, with marketing and IT, and I may get it wrong, expertise. But Callie, take it away.
Hi, I'm not sure how to share my screen on here. Can you kind of walk me through that, Natalie?
Callie, look at the bottom of the monitor down there. It'll be a green box. It says share screen.
There, got it. All right, and share. Can everyone see my screen here?
Yes.
Got it.
Perfect. Okay, so with being a nonprofit, there are a few things that you have access to for no cost. One of them is the Google Suite. So you can have emails and Drive, all of the apps within Google for free. You can also have an account with Techsoup. And through Techsoup, you have access to low-cost software programs and some more tech training. So if there's something you want to learn more about, you can go to Techsoup and see if they have a class on it. And it's just signing up and giving your nonprofit number. So with Drive, just like Rachel had done, we've created the team Drive to be shared just this year. I've separated it out with a board only and team Drive so that we've had the issue of people not keeping consistent. So the message kind of gets different depending who's giving it on what the Master Gardeners do. So we've created a brand guide kind of talking about, hey, we're educators. These are some points that you should know about the Master Gardeners. And then we also had the problem of people who were doing a program or a project, and then something happens, they can't do it, and someone else takes over, and they have no idea what was done before or what we've already had in place, which is where we've brought the team Drive into play. So in here, we've kind of split it up between our different gardens, projects, and programs, photography, different folders, so that anyone who's working on something can put it in here and everyone can have access to it. Also, like Rachel, we did a teaching class. So I don't know if it's like this for everywhere, but the library lets nonprofits use their computer room for free. So I reserved that and did a little training class, which I also have the PowerPoint with that I can share. So within Team Drive, we've broken it up, and all I've asked is that people stay consistent with the way that they put things in here, which is something that we had talked about in our class. Of course, I'm not finding anything in here to show you. We've also put documents like the planning in here that everybody is supposed to be using. A couple of issues that we have run into though is I made one team Drive for all of our members. So let's say somebody who is chairing the state fair, he's going to have a folder in our team Drive, and he can share that with other people. But when he shares it, you can't give access to just one folder. You can only give access to the entire team Drive. So when he's sharing his documents, then that person has access to everything in here. And so some people are uncomfortable with that, and we're still trying to figure out a way to resolve that. One of the ways
I thought you could actually give permissions per folder or even per document.
Not with Team Drive, and that's what I was gonna say. Is the way around that is with your My Drive. So Team Drive is shared with everyone, that you've invited, but you also have your own drive in here, and you can put documents in here, and then you can choose, I want to share this folder, or I want to share this document. The only problem with this, that's my concern, is that the next person taking over may not have access to what you've put in your drive, which was the whole purpose of the team Drive.
So what I did is I set up a Google account basically under the county, and if there's another person, I just give them the password and they keep using it. And so I set it up for our county, but anyone who takes over can use it.
Gotcha. Our problem was that information is scattered all over. So I'm just trying to create a central place for it to be found. because there's a lot of people who know a lot of details about different things that nobody else knows. And if something were to happen, nobody would know how to function, which is something that had happened in the past with actually the person who set up the Google Suite. So it's taken a lot of work this year to kind of hammer out all the details. Another piece that we've implemented to help with that problem is that with the Google Suite, we've created Master Gardener official emails. So like state fair at mgofdc.org, etc. And then since I'm admin, I can create a new password if something were to ever happen to somebody, so the next person can have access. Then they're going to have access to anything they put in my drive or any emails from the past. So that's been really handy. Problem was people weren't using the emails, and those are the emails listed on the website, which is why I did the training class. And so we're trying to make it a requirement for anyone who's a chair or anyone who's in some sort of leadership role to use their official Master Gardener email. Does anyone have any questions? I'm not sure what else to say about it.
Keep going.
So this is really the beginning of your guys' long-term plan to make sure that this is accessible for years to come, after having some, fits and starts, so to speak, of having it there, but then losing it or not being able to get to it.
Right, yeah. Just with turnover, it's just, this is our goal for succession, is that everything will be stored here so anyone can access it. And I think the emails is going to be our next big push. So last month we did a training class at the library. And as admin, you have the ability to put a footer at the bottom of everybody's email. There's a lot of little capabilities in Google that you can do like that. It just takes a little searching, and I think that's the hardest part, that in the past nobody felt comfortable doing that.
This is Marcia from Knox County. It looks like one of the primary features in this G Suite is the addition of team drives beyond the My Drive. Are there other features of the G Suite that you use?
Not yet. Let me look and see what our choices are up here. The only thing we've really used is the drive, My Drive, Team Drive, and then the official emails. We haven't really taken advantage of anything else. Just implementing those two things has been challenging with our members.
Okay, so this little menu bar on the right that you just pulled up, those are features of the G Suite?
Yes.
I mean, for instance, contacts would be specific to the G Suite and not to your own personal Gmail account?
Correct. As long as you're signed in as the Master Gardener email.
So there are certainly administrative capacities that may be opportunities to use in the future.
Right. So we're using Zoom right now, but they have Google Meet, which is basically the same thing as Zoom. The docs, sheets, and slides, that's all part of the drive. I'm not really sure why they separated it out. You could also create a Google site if you wanted, but it would be like mastergardeners.google.com or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Do you know,
and
does
then the chat would just be between members. You could have little instant message.
do you know
But our
does
members aren't using it enough to take advantage of that.
does Google Meet, does it have any limitations? I was looking into Skype, and it's free unless you connect in via cell or landline. Do you know if Meet has those restrictions?
I don't know. I actually haven't used Google Meet. I just
Okay.
know that it's a video conference call system.
For Skype, you have to pay for those features. That's all.
And then I would definitely look into Techsoup because they have a lot of things like Skype or, you know, just any kind of software that would be low or no cost for.
Unfortunately, we're not a nonprofit organization. At least we don't have a nonprofit number in Bradley County.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and Matt, that's something that I have on my list to check into, you know, the accessibility of Zoom on a volunteer basis. So that's, we'll check into it. Yeah.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Kelly, we really appreciate that. And I think that what you're seeing is really a perspective of you using this to address your biggest need right now, and then deciding what features may meet the next challenges in the future. And so that really fits exactly with the way that I was trying to introduce this visit at the beginning, and that we don't have to use everything. We don't have to feel overwhelmed with all the tools. Just find the thing that meets the challenges that we have right now and use it to help us achieve the mission.
Natalie, just to make one comment, I think a lot of times Master Gardener organizations lose sight of the fact that this is also a really good way of backing up all documents. You know, and from a historical perspective, an organization changing leadership from year to year, or somebody saying, you know, I had it on USB or it was on this computer. When you go to a platform like this, and everybody's got access, it lends itself, whether it's a presentation or just minutes from meetings, it lends itself to a really good backup system for year to year to year.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've dealt with that institutionally, right? Somebody's computer goes down and we lose way more than we thought across a much wider platform. All right. So we've kind of focused so far on our discussion on internal networking and tools that support our local organizations. And we're going to switch gears a little bit and start to think about some of the technology tools most commonly in use for outreach and how that looks as far as advertising and marketing in the community. And our next snapshot is going to come from Cumberland County. It's actually really appropriate because Erin is preparing for a horticulture education event that takes place tomorrow that she's been actively marketing over Facebook. So she's going to share some of those things that are very much happening in real time. So do you want me to go ahead and open up your PowerPoint, Erin?
Please.
Okay, that's the top of the presentation, and the floor is yours. This is Erin Fletcher, who is a volunteer from our Cumberland County group, and she is their social media wizard.
When I started with Cumberland County in 2012, we didn't use Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. And then I became in charge of the flower show in 2013. So in order to get the word out, I made a Facebook page for Cumberland County Master Gardeners. And on that page, I posted about the flower show. I have since made another Facebook page of Plateau Discovery Gardens, but then we became part of the UT Gardens platform. I had to make another Facebook page with UT Gardens Crossville Plateau Discovery Gardens, because some of the older people that knew us only remember Plateau Discovery Gardens. When we have events that are coming up, such as there's a turf class on Tuesday that Greg is going to be presenting, I will make an event page for that and share it with everybody. I share it on our pages. I share it on Tennessee Master Gardener. And then I tag other Master Gardeners so it ends up being on their page. you'll see that we had the Fall Gardeners Festival. So I allowed everybody to know what's going on. I even went live from the Fall Gardeners Festival, showed you a little bit of Dr. Mark Wyndham's class, as well as walking through the gardens and showing different parts of it. Can you change the thing? How do I change the screen? Okay. As you see the post insights here, this is just, Facebook allows you to find out how well you're doing by reaching the people. And this is showing you, like, if I posted a page, how many people saw it and how many people then clicked on it to read about it a little bit more. Next. And out of my own choice, I pay for ads for different events such as the Fall Gardeners Festival, the Flower Show, and Brie Arthur. So the second page is showing you, the second slide is showing you how many people it reached. 4,920 people were reached and how much it cost. Next page. And then I had a membership drive because we were in a friendly competition with Knoxville and Jackson. So I posted a membership drive event. And as you can see, how many people saw it and how many people then responded to it. And the second slide is showing you Brie Arthur and that ad. Is that it? Yep. Okay.
I have a question on the ads. Are they bringing income into your group, or how is that? I guess I don't understand that cost structure.
I pay for them personally, and what it is just by having an ad, you get more outreach. I can choose the audience. I can choose what state it goes to. I can choose or the county, just the city. Like when we have an open house for the Cumberland Master Gardeners, I just chose a certain area such as Cumberland County plus 100 miles.
And you're targeting certain interest groups too sometimes with those paid ads, right?
Correct. Correct.
Aaron, this is Julie Morgan with Shelby County, and I do the Shelby County Facebook page. Oh, and I guess this is also for Natalie. Again, if we all had a list of the counties that have Facebook pages and their links, we can actually look at how we do this and what's there. I think, and not only that, we all travel. So, if I'm in Knox County or wherever I am, then I'm going to be able to see it. And if you have a list, it's easier than having to go search because you're not too sure what there are, how they're listed.
That's doable. I think we can do that with, we can send out a communication push following this and work to gather a list of all of our county social media sites. I mean, the ones that are outreach, right? Not your closed groups internally, but I think that's a great idea.
Great.
And the websites as well would be good.
Yeah, it probably could be a package and have the website and
the websites we largely have, and that's actually currently on our website. We have a list of what the county websites are, and we try to keep those updated. It'll be a good opportunity to make sure the websites are updated and get a handle on our Facebook pages.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Natalie, just another comment too. What Erin does, just to brag on her a little bit, a website, social media site, whatever the case may be, is only as good as the relevant information on that site and how current or updated or how fresh that information is. Erin is incredible about keeping that information relevant, very timely, It is a very fast and quick way of reaching massive audiences. I use, for extension agents, I use that information at the end of the year in terms of contacts. You've got an idea how many people have been there, engaged with those activities. So obviously social media is an exceptional way of getting out there and advertising programs and reaching audiences and serving as that, you know, up to the minute reminder about programs and activities that are going on in a county. And a lot of times I think Erin, you know, she'll use the social media site to actually direct people to our regular website or other websites rather than vice versa. And so, you know, it's an invaluable tool. I know over the past, I've gone across and looked at other Master Gardener Facebook pages and websites across the state. You know, if you had, I just did Google searches on all of them to see how current, how relevant they were, what kind of information did you have on there. I think inevitably to be successful, you've got to have a person or persons in each county that's doing those that are truly up to staying on top and keeping that information relevant.
I completely agree. One platform well used is way better than 3 or 4 platforms that we're struggling to keep updated, right? And speaking of multiple platforms and how to coordinate the use of those, that actually moves us really well in the direction of our next presentation, which is going to be coming from Greene County, and Melody's going to share a little bit about some of the ways that they link their different tools and use some online registration features and those types of aspects. So, Melody, it's all yours. We can see you, but we're not hearing you if you're talking.
As a prelim, while Melody is looking for or not hearing a little bit more of this, Natalie mentioned a minute ago about using that microphone button down in the left corner, and then you got your camera button. But beside each of those, you'll see 2 little arrow ups. If you happen to be on a Zoom meeting and you're asked to talk or something's not working, you can actually click on each of those arrows and it'll show a list of microphones that your system has identified. So sometimes you may have to change a microphone setting or a speaker setting if you're not hearing anything. So the arrows for the microphone, that's generally your microphone speaker. The one next to the video is for your cameras, to which one that you want to, whether like on mine, it brings up a Logitech camera, which I'm using now, or the integrated camera that would be in my laptop. So just a little bit more of a sideline. The other thing that I would tell all of you Master Gardeners would be, you know, giving our clientele and age and busy schedules and things, you know, a lot of times I know we like to meet in person, but I think as Dr. Bumgarner alluded to, trying to move towards using Zoom or some of these other web-based programs, if you've got good internet speed, a lot of times you can meet very efficiently and cover a lot of material and never leave the comforts of your home if need be. So I know we all like those touchy-feely type meetings, but at the same time, if it's evenings or if you want to make a very efficient use of time, this is a platform that I'd encourage Master Gardeners within their county, but also across county lines. You know, if Knox County and Cumberland County want to visit on certain things, that we can do those. Melody, have you got your sound?
Yeah, I'm up. Okay, what you're seeing right now is our Facebook page. I'm going to try to keep this pretty quick because I know we're getting short on time. But kind of like what Aaron was talking about, and I guess Greg alluded to that fact. If you'll notice this post here, it's posted from our Big Spring Master Gardener website. Instead of actually having to go in and post on Facebook, I have it integrated, embedded on the website. It's under our garden news section, which is our blog feature on the website, and we are powered by Weebly. I know WordPress does this as well. But basically, when you go in here and you post one of these, you can post it to all of your social media accounts. So Big Spring Master Gardeners, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, and just to kind of keep it easy today, and again, kind of go in tandem with what Aaron was saying, I'm just going to show how the Facebook feature feeds. But anyway, when I do post something on here, and when I hit post, it gives me that option to share that out to those social media sites. So this is, in essence, what that looks like. And then I'm actually in edit mode right now, so it won't work very effectively here. But when you click on that as a user of Facebook, that will link you directly back to the Big Spring Master Gardener website. And plus, kind of like what Aaron was talking about, you can kind of see how this feature works, where it says boost again. It's showing how many people have already been reached by this. I'm just trying to focus on the audience here in Greene County, just kind of focusing on Master Gardener training. And this is actually the UT Extension Greene County, but this also links in to the Big Spring Master Gardener site. And then just to show you, this is a hemp meeting that we're having in a couple of weeks, and this was posted out yesterday, and already our reach is, just by that sharing feature, has gone out to almost 1,700 people. So it can be very effective when you start entering some of those tools from your website. Let me try to go in here and show you on the, let's see, yeah. So like right now I'm in edit mode. I'm not going to post one of these. I'm just trying to do what?
Did you lose it on the other screen?
No, I don't think so. Whoops, that ain't working right. I'm in the wrong one. Sorry, guys. I got too many things up on my screen.
A little promo there for our UT Hort site with all kinds of educational information.
Okay, yeah, well, okay, so the other thing, I can't get that to pull up, Natalie, sorry, but another interface that I have used in the past is called Hootsuite. It does now cost money. It's about $350 a year. But if you're posting very actively on social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, it is a platform where you can link all of those sites together. So when you make one post on Facebook, so again, I'll use this one down here. This hemp, I actually just posted that on Facebook. So in essence, what that does is that when I utilize that Hootsuite platform, it pushes it out on all social media sites. It won't just go out on Facebook. And then you have to go into each one of those, kind of like Aaron was showing you a minute ago. If you as the agent or you as Master Gardeners are wanting to see what your outreach is, it will break those down for you on each one of those social media platforms. So again, that one costs money. I think you can get it 60 days for free if that's something you want to try out. And I wouldn't think it would be beneficial unless you have those multi social media accounts. You need to have more than one or two for that to be efficient. But it's a great way, again, to link your clientele and boost your program areas. And again, we don't have a lot of things going on right now, but in the springtime, Facebook pushing out blog posts through the website, it's pretty active, and we hit a lot of people just doing it this way. You have questions?
And one thing, you don't have to get into all the details of the registration or anything, Melody, but it would be fair to say that one thing that you've learned as you've been pushing your educational things a lot on social media is that you're getting a very media savvy audience showing up in your horticulture classes, right?
Yeah, that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. I actually have it's set up on the Master Gardener webpage for individuals. General public can just go there and register for classes. They can actually pay for classes online. I have that linked. We do directly with our Big Spring Master Gardener bank account, basically. So the money, we use Stripe and Square, and the money feeds right into that, and we keep all of that right here on the website. And then again, when you're advertising for classes, all of that's right there, that post out from the website into your social media. And I've actually discovered we have gotten a lot more folks interested by utilizing that online payment method, online registration method. People don't like to have to call into the extension office or fill out a form and send it in with the stamp. We've discovered we lose a lot of people doing it that way. So this just provides a much easier access for them to be able to do that.
So who hosts your website? Like we're using GoDaddy, for instance.
Weebly.
Weebly?
Weebly for the Master Gardener website, yes.
And what type of editor do you use?
That I do. What do you mean, editor?
Oh, it's like WordPress or?
Oh, well, it's powered by Weebly. It's all Weebly.
Okay.
Kind of like WordPress. It's very similar to WordPress. A lot of the interface is the same.
Okay.
We use Yola. All right. That sounds great, Melody. Thanks so much for sharing those various aspects of how you're linking your different platforms. I don't think that Greg Tomerlin was able to join us. Is that true? You're not on here, Greg, are you? He wasn't feeling very well this morning, so we didn't have an opportunity to link up with him. But our timing actually turned out really great. We just have a couple of minutes left, and I am going to go ahead and check and make sure that there aren't any other questions or comments or things that folks would like to talk about. Do you have any other questions for any of the speakers?
I have a question.
Okay.
This might be more toward you. Is there any type of technical support that UT can provide? For instance, we're going to have to switch over to a new. Our editor is really poor, and we're going to have to look at WordPress. And so, any support there? Questions come up.
Yeah, so that's a very good question. It's something that, I'll be completely honest, has been a struggle for me over the last few years, because it's something that we would really like to be able to offer. The idea has been discussed that we might be able to have a base Master Gardener WordPress template that could be used for county groups. And I think that is something that in the future the option is open. But right now, to date, we haven't been able to, to pull together the IT resources to make that happen. But our UTIA is just getting ready to move actually into adopting WordPress as an institute, which is going to be a tool that's going to be a lot easier to use than, say, the SharePoint, which is our current web platform. So I can't give a definitive answer right now, but I think that the opportunity for that is probably improving in the future, and it's definitely something that I will continue to have conversations with our IT folks. And so it's a good question for which we're still working, and we don't have the perfect answer, but it's definitely on my agenda. Okay.
Free printer. It's one of the tall ones, and it's a copier.
Melody, you're still on. We're gonna do a final ending activity. So are you ready for this? This is a new technology tool for me. This is actually a little smartphone quiz that we're going to use as our final activity here on our technology training program. So pull out your smartphone. And
Natalie, can I ask one question though before you do that?
Yeah, jump in.
This has been a great program up until now. A lot of good information. I know I gleaned out a bunch of stuff. How does a person, say like Aaron or someone, come and go back to their county and say, this was a good meeting. I hate that you weren't here, but it was recorded. How does the county show this recording to their county? or bring it back up? Where do they go to find this?
Oh, that's a great question. When I get this recording saved, then I am going to put it on our UT Residential and Consumer Horticulture YouTube page, and I will send out an email to the regular officer list that got all of this information, and it's going to have both the handouts that I think Callie and Rachel are going to send me. It'll have the link to this session, so folks will be able to share that within their group. So we do have some folks joining in. All you have to do is put in the website, join.quiziz.com, and then you enter that 6-digit code there. We'll let a few more people pop up, and then I'll hit start. Celeste went to go get her smartphone. She's jumping in.
I can't spell my name, you notice.
I saw Julie was typing too fast when she input her name. So this is actually a fun little feature that I was introduced to a few weeks ago when I was at a conference, and I thought that it would be a fun thing to close out our time together here. So I'm gonna hit start, and the quiz has now begun. So on your smartphone, you have the opportunity to hit the answer that you think is correct, and it's kind of a speed by accuracy competition. That's how the points are distributed. There are only 3 questions, don't worry, it's not going to go on forever. I was the one that made the question, so I hope I can get them all right.
Oh, sorry.
So we'll wait till everybody has an opportunity to answer everything.
It was trying to make me install an app. That's not right, is it?
Yeah, you shouldn't have to have an app. You should be able to just sign up immediately. All right, we're getting close to done. And this would be something that you could use in classes. It's completely free. All you have to do is just go make up your questions on the website. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the questions and just share with you the answers here. So question number 1, what percentage of 50 to 64-year-olds use Facebook? And the answer to that is C. About 2/3 of what would be our current traditional, not necessarily our own only, but definitely our current traditional Master Gardener audience participate with Facebook. So it is a very solid tool in social media and sharing information. I'm going to go to question number 3 next. What's the most common social media platform for U.S. adults according to Pew? And this was one that I wouldn't have gotten right if I didn't look up the answer when I made this question. It's actually C, YouTube. Over 70% of U.S. adults use YouTube, while Facebook's in that 60% range. Greg, this actually gets back to the conversations that we keep having about horticulture, which is the one thing that we really feel would enable us to provide content to a wide range of audiences, short videos. So we're not going to give up. YouTube is used by 72% of U.S. adults. And question number 2, which is kind of Natalie's slightly smart aleck summation to our visit time this morning. Why is it that we should invest time and energy into technology tools? It's because these tools can support us in fulfilling our mission. We don't need to use them all. We try to maintain a positive attitude in using technology that works for us and that supports our mission without feeling overwhelmed by it. And we hope that this visit this morning has given you the opportunity to see very specific technologies used to address challenges in local groups. So, so I really thank you all for joining in. I'll post the recording as soon as I have time to get it all downloaded and uploaded. So, a couple of dates. Before we close, I just want to say, Mark, May the 21st, 2019 for the Eastern Region meeting hosted by Blount County. Save June the 20th, 2019 for the Central Region meeting being hosted by Sumner County, and save October the 12th and possibly the 11th in 2019 for the Western Region meeting that's being led by Hardeman County. So we already have some great stuff planned for next year. Unless anybody has any burning inspirational thoughts to close our meeting, I think I'm gonna call it. Thanks so much for everybody for joining in. Have a great weekend.